we can start messy, clean it up later. Hello everyone, today we are talking about pain, knee pain specifically. In this video, we're going to be focusing on particularly knee pain, but the thing with pain, or even the thing that we're going to discuss in this video, is that a lot of the principles that we're going to cover with the knee, this usually carries over to everything as well. Elbow pain to a certain degree, glutes, hamstrings. I remember I used to follow like physical therapists on YouTube and try to learn what was the best way to solve a problem. But the thing is that pretty much anything will work as long as it falls under a few select principles. The one thing that I've noticed with my time is that it's really as simple as encouraging blood flow into the area is one, strengthening the area and strengthening surrounding muscles in the area. As if you put it as simply as that, you should be able to fix most problems. And actually this approach is the approach that I've used to fix a variety of problems. Elbow problems, hip problems, I already said elbow, knee problems, whatever it is. Just this simplistic framework is what I followed to help people find relief and improvements in any problem or pain areas that they've been experiencing. To start off simply, we're gonna go step by step on the things that I would recommend that you do to start off with. If you need more help, then go seek a professional. But taking these approach will 8-9 times out of 10 take care of the problem, because one thing I've noticed as a coach is that a lot of the times the problem that people have, the problems that they have are not that severe. They're not as severe as they think they are. Sometimes they're just a minor little ache that they just have to fix. Okay, so now when it comes to knee pain, a lot of the times when people experience knee pain, they experience it right down in the center of their knee. That's usually like the patellar tendon. So a good way to start off with is always finding some sort of basic form of relief. The one thing that I would recommend, because it's worked so many times, is flossing. So that requires a flossing band. It's not just any band, it's actually, that's what it's called. It's called a flossing band. You can find them really anywhere. And the way these things work is that they constrict blood flow in the area, and then once you take them off, blood rushes into the joint. And the thing about blood flow is that it's very healing. It's very beneficial for your joints. So you want to encourage blood flow into whatever joint is bothering you. So if we had something like, if Sam had knee pain in that particular area, what we do is we grab the flossing band. So she's gonna extend her leg out. Look at your tibs. Extend your knee out all the way, yeah, and then you're gonna start, you could probably start the wrap a little bit lower. But let's say her problem area was like right there, right? So what we do is we start the wrap, and then once she has it secured, she's gonna start cutting the wrap in half, like that. And then once she gets to the area that's causing her a lot, the pain, she's going to start tightening up the wrap. So you see how she's pulling the wrap a little bit more, and that's creating a little bit more stiffness and tightness in that area where she's doing that. So once she has that, she's going to secure it, and then it's always best to move your joint around like that. You can just move it. Movement is medicine. It's as simple as that. We're trying to keep it easy. So move it around. You could even do some knee extensions. So these are great. Extending the knee. So usually knee problems come from too much knee flexion. So in this case, extend the knee, get blood flow, do 10, 20 reps. Just move it with the flossing band. And then once you're done, you should even start to feel fatigue. It feels like it's burning. Once you're done, you can let go of the wrap, and blood will rush into the joint. So a lot of the times you'll feel this initial relief, and then same thing, just move it around, extend it a few more times as well. And then with a few rounds of that, you should start feeling better. Now the thing about rehabbing is that you have to be very proactive about getting better in your rehab. You don't just do 3 sets and go, oh, I'm fine now, everything feels better, and then just stop. Rehabbing is almost a dedicated effort, just as it would be your training, like your regular training. Rehab almost works the same. You have to put the same effort, the same focus to want to get better. So don't treat it like a secondary, last priority thing that you just kind of like do on a whim whenever you feel like. You have to be very regimented about it.
That's what got you into this in the first place.
Okay, so blood flow is usually the first place to start. Encouraging blood flow in the area, I have found that it's always the best place to start. And I actually got this from hearing a surgeon talk, where one time he was talking about hip replacement surgeries, and that if they're preserving hips, they want to encourage blood flow in the surgery. If hip preservation surgery requires encouraging blood flow into the hip, then why wouldn't you try to do that just on your own, right? So blood flow would be the first step. The second step would be training the antagonistic or opposite movement patterns. There's a few ways that this is done, because one thing that you have to understand about muscles is they all have a relationship to each other. So a lot of the times one area is bothering you, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to strengthen that area first. You usually have to strengthen the opposite area. So for example, whenever you get elbow tendonitis in here, that usually means you have to strengthen the extensors in the forearm, and that usually helps. When it comes to knee pain, it's usually knee flexion, bending of the knee, that hurts. So you want to strengthen the opposite, which is knee extension. That's when your knee extends and straightens out. One of my favorite movements for this, because you also want some sort of resistance paired with this. You can just do body weight, but if you want to improve, you have to strengthen the antagonistic muscles or directions, the movement. If it's flexion, train extension and train it under load. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a banded knee extension. Okay, so for this exercise, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a resistance band. So these are looped resistance bands that they have a variety of tensions. You can get them anywhere. You can get them in Rogue Fitness, you can get them on Amazon, you get them anywhere. People sell them a lot now. They're very popular now. But I've liked the versatility of these for a lot of things. These are great for mobility. These are great for rehabbing. They offer a light resistance. I'm actually going to show you some things that you can do with the machines to help your rehab progress. So these are very versatile. It's nice to have in your gym bag. So in this case, we want a thicker band for the knee. Usually for the legs, you can do a little bit more. You have a little bit more strength. So something like this is a good amount of resistance. So what Sam is going to do is she's going to grab the band, she's going to attach it to this beam, feed her knee through, and do a step up on this box right here. So wrap the band, okay, and then feed your leg through, okay, and then we're going to hand her the box. Now you want some sort of tension, like you see how it's a little bit slacked, it's okay, but if she feels tension, it's okay, but you want some form of tension when you're getting ready to do the step up. Now the thing that you're training here, remember, you're training the opposite, so you don't have to have your knee all the way forward like that. You can offer a little bit more range of motion, but if that causes pain, then you can start right there with a more vertical shin or not as much knee flexion, and train your extension from there. So you could sort of guide your starting point so that you either have minimal pain or no pain when you're doing this movement. Okay? Now what she's going to do is she's training extension. Extension is basically when your knee locks. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna come up and extend the knee all the way like that. So this resistance, she's working against this resistance. Her knee is pushing back, pulling on the band gets more tension as her knee comes back. And the same thing here, like I would recommend doing 10 to 20. The higher reps are going to encourage more blood flow. The more you do, you're gonna get a pump, blood is going to rush into the joint. It's a healing factor, so you should start feeling better. You don't want to do lower reps. So something like 10 to 20, her quads will start burning. She might even feel some warmth in the front of her knee. Anytime someone has come with knee pain, I always start them off with this, and 9 times out of 10, 8-9 times out of 10, actually me personally, I don't think I've had anyone not work for them. Me personally, but I know other people it doesn't work for them. But I personally, as a trainer, have not experienced someone who had knee pain, did this, and the knee pain didn't go away. So you're good there. Okay, now the way that you can use the bands to help you with exercises where maybe you don't have the tolerance for your knee pain or whatever it is, you can use bands. So here we have bands attached to the bar. Holly used to experience hip pain, So just demonstrate real quick. What Holly would feel, go ahead, you can unrack it, is that when there was no band and she came down here and tried to push up, she would feel, and she didn't have the strength to actually push. But we added bands, and what the bands do is that they take tension from the bottom. So go ahead and do it again. So once it's here, the band is pulling on this and making the weight feel lighter. So she was able to do this, go ahead and push, and train that for a while, add plates, add weight, get stronger at it. And over time, what were you able to do with the bands? Were you able to do it without bands?
Yeah, I finally did no bands the other day. Took them off.
So adding bands to a machine is a great way to offload the weight at the bottom of the movement, so it's not hard on your joints. So in Holly's case, her hip, but I'll show you how it also works for your knees. Okay, now Holly, initially she had a fracture in her ankle, and that led to some pain in her knee down the line. So when she was first squatting, she had that problem of the squats were a little bit too painful on her knees. So one thing that we did is we used a band like this and attached it, and I had Holly squat like body weight. Yep. But because the band is pulling her up, she wouldn't feel a lot of pressure in her knee, and she'd get some assistance when she was doing it. And doing it this way, she was able to train the squat without causing pain in her knee and getting strong and strengthening it at the same time. So to put it simply for you, you usually want to start with blood flow, which is relief. It relieves pain, right? It gets nutrients, it makes you feel better. Then you want to train the antagonistic movement pattern or muscles, right? So in knee flexion is what's causing you pain, you want to train knee extension. If your elbow is causing you pain here, you want to train your extensors, right? Train the opposite. And then finally, you want to train the thing that is bothering you under controlled circumstances. So this is one thing that as a coach, I've seen a bunch of times. So usually if someone has knee pain, let's say I had them do a lunge and I say, do a lunge, right? And they go, ow, yes, it hurts. Okay, so you have knee pain. And it's like, all right, so let's try this. Why don't you try it elevated? Yep. And then do it, and you go like, oh, no, it doesn't hurt me. And I'm like, okay, great. So, because we still want to strengthen, you still want to get stronger in the movement. Let's say she feels pain, she doesn't feel pain at this range of motion, but she does feel pain, let's say she were to go down here. Okay? And then she's like, ow, I feel pain again. I was like, all right, so then let's go back here. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so let's go back here, and then do it. Okay, no pain. All right, great. So then now we're going to strength train. We're going to treat it like it was any other exercise. So we're going to put it under load. So we're going to start with lightweight, higher reps to encourage blood flow, and then usually lower reps sometimes lead to joint pain. So that's why I like doing higher reps if you're trying to help something or rehab something. So loaded, 12.5s, that's a weight she can tolerate. Because one thing I've noticed is that people have a range of motion intolerance and a weight intolerance. So in a particular range of motion, they go, ow. Or in a particular weight, they go, ow. So maybe at 12.5, Sam doesn't feel any pain, but if she were to go to 20, then she starts feeling pain again. So what we'll do is we'll train this 3 sets of 10 to 20 with 12.5. Every time she hits 20, she's gonna go up to 15 pounds, then 17.5, and then 20. If she gets to 20 and she doesn't feel any pain anymore, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the range of motion, go shorter, start training it from 12.5 again. We go 12.5, we go 15, 17, 20. It's like, all right, you're good, no pain. All right, now let's take it to the floor. Like, let's take the regular lunge, 12.5, 15, 17, and then we check again. Do you feel any pain? No, I don't feel any pain. Okay, great. So it seems like your pain has gotten better, right? So those would be the 3 basic steps that you want to think about. And remember, like, think about it simply. It's not very complicated a lot of the times, unless your problem is very severe, then you have to go seek professional help. But the thing that I would say is that you want to focus on blood flow, encouraging blood flow. You do this with cupping, foam rolling, a Theragun, a high rep band and knee extensions, flossing. There's a bunch of ways that you can encourage blood flow. Then you want to strengthen the antagonistic or the opposite movement pattern or muscles. So if it's knee flexion, train knee extension under load, just like other things. And then finally, you want to train the problem area through a full range or a partial range of motion under load. So if you start with body weight, you could do that first, or assisted, you might have to hold on to something and push yourself. And over time, you start doing it unassisted, then body weight, then with lighter weight, and then heavier weight, and then so on and so forth until your pain goes away. So that is it for this video. Hopefully that helps you resolve a lot of your pain issues. And yeah,